Hey guys, Huz here, bringing you a new video, this time playing the Titanfall beta, a game that I've actually been looking forward to play for quite some time now. As being a past competitive Call of Duty player, I kind of got bored of the old format of the COD games, and this seems something new. Now, it's not made by a Call of Duty studio, but it is made by Respawn Entertainment, who used to be a Call of Duty studio. And there's definitely similarities between the styles of games, but I think Titanfall can easily stand on its own as a really good fun FPS shooter. So if you're unfamiliar of what the game actually is, I'm going to go over a little bit of detail, the loadouts, etc. But right now there is an annotation on the screen. If you just want to jump into the gameplay, you don't want to look at the loadouts, the menus, the burn cards, etc. If you just want to go look at the gameplay, click now. But if you're staying with me, so we're going to get started on the pilot loadouts. So the two kind of terminologies for a player in Titanfall is a pilot and a Titan. A pilot is just your average soldier that is not in a Titan and they're just running around on foot. And obviously that you can do multiple different things. You can have a carbine, a shotgun, a pistol, a SMG and a sniper. Now, they've already said there are a lot more weapons available. This is the beta. That is pretty much just a demo. It's giving you a little sneak peek of what is to come and, balance testing, etc. that they're currently doing. And there is going to be more weapons than this. So they are kind of the primary guns, and for those wondering why is a pistol as a primary gun, this thing is kind of OP. It's an automatic locking gun after a certain amount of time that always aims for the head, if I'm not mistaken. It takes a little charge time to do it, but it's still rather easy to do. The anti-Titan weapons are, firstly, the big mechs are called Titans, and these are the weapons that are most effective if you're just a pilot taking them down. So you've got a big heavy rocket, and you've got a Sidewinder. That is basically a machine gun that has bullets that can penetrate Titan's armor. And then your sidearm is just a standard pistol. Again, there will be more available when it comes out. Tactical ability, you either can, at the moment, have Cloak or Stim. Now, Stim is kind of exactly what it is in StarCraft 2. Your movement speed and health regeneration get boosted. It's just boosting your soldier up a little bit. And then Cloak, kind of obvious, you just go invisible. Which is kind of useful at certain times. Now this is your grenade, so you either can have a frag grenade or an arc grenade. But basically the frag grenade is good at just killing enemy pilots, doing a bit of damage, etc. But the arc grenades are basically an EMP. If you're in a Titan and you get hit by one of these things, your whole screen goes blurry because it's all electronic systems, and you're going to have a hard time for a few seconds. Tier 1 kit, so there's different kits available. So you've got enhanced parkour. There's a lot of parkour involved in this game. Jumping off walls, running up walls as a pilot, and this will help you do that even more. If you're not somebody that likes being in a Titan, this could be for you. Explosive pack increases how many grenades you have if you're a pilot, and then the power cell increases or reduces the time your pilot's tactical ability is charging up. So it's quite useful. Tier 2, you got your dome shield battery, and that is just increasing. But basically, when your Titan gets spawned in, if they spawned in and there was no shield around them, they'll get blown up straight away. So they spawn in with a shield, and this dome shield just extends that amount of time that your Titan will have a shield around it, which is useful. Minion detector, I don't know, this one isn't really useful because it's just looking for the NPCs, the computer-controlled soldiers on the field, and they're not really a threat, so I don't really think you need to have that. And then the warp fall transmitter instantly warps your Titan in when you call it. Now, if you're in a tricky spot and you're in your pilot and you really need to get in your Titan quickly and you're calling it down, this is useful because your Titan comes down from the atmosphere and lands as a rocket. And it does take a bit of time, where this would be nearly instant and you'll have your Titan from the get-go. Now, the final thing is the gender. There is genders in this game, and the one thing that I have to say I kind of like, they are not overly sexualizing the female, as a lot of games do. League of Legends does it, World of Warcraft does it, like that. It's just a woman in combat gear. It's nothing more, and I think that's good. So many games try to do, the sexualizing thing when it's not needed. So anyway, that is the pilots. Fairly interesting. All of them, obviously, some of them have different looks, and the one thing I do hope for this game is that you can get multiple different looks and customize your own guy. That would be really nice, but I'm not sure if it's in the final product. Now, Titan loadouts. Right now, all the Titans look the same, apart from if you get a burn card, which we'll go into later. But right now, your Titan will most likely look like the Atlas. Now, this is something that's quite interesting to me, and it's, well, fairly obvious that there's going to be multiple chassis that do different things. So the Atlas is known as the most balanced in all of the states. So it has okay durability, okay speed, okay acceleration. Now, we know for a fact there's going to be different chassis that one of them is going to be like a really big beefy one that's going to have maximum durability and low speed and acceleration. Then you're going to have a really small one that will have low durability and high speed and acceleration. So, you know, there's going to be them things involved. And it's going to be interesting what they all look like. And again, I really hope that we're able to customize these with our own personal armor, maybe throw a logo on it. It'll be interesting to know. But I don't think it's been confirmed yet. Maybe in the future, I'm not really sure. So right now, the Titan, you can have 3 weapons. Your 40mm cannon, the quad rocket, and the chain gun. Think of it as this. The chain gun is your assault class, just pounding as many bullets into stuff as possible. This is great for taking out pilots, the chain gun. The quad rocket is good in just a big, just machine fest. If there's so many people in a certain area, you just fire rockets in, and it's very, very useful. And then the 40mm cannon is my favourite, and you can just stand way back and fire cannon, shots in, and I do quite enjoy that. It's, the range isn't amazing, but the damage is quite high, and you can see, probably the most balanced gun right now is the chain gun, but playstyle-wise, I do like the 40mm cannon. Tactical ability. This is quite important when you're going Titan on Titan combat. You've got your Vortex Shield that you put up your arm. You may have seen it before. You put up your arm. It's like a force field that grabs all the bullets coming at you and you can throw them back in a direction. They don't lock on or anything in a direction. They just get thrown in one direction, like wherever you're aiming, which that can do a lot of damage. But then you have to remember you could collect 100 bullets in your Vortex, fire it back at the enemy, and they could catch them bullets as well. So you have to be careful when you use it. Electrical smoke deploys a dense, electrically charged smoke cloud that damages Titans and pilots if they do pass through it. So it is quite useful, and it's very, very useful. If a pilot jumps on your back, you throw out this smoke cloud and they'll just die, by being choked or electrocuted, whatever they die from. So this is, again, it's kind of like the grenades for the pilot. Your ordnance is a rocket salvo, so it's just a massive blitz of all rockets that you get fired in like a circle straight forward wherever you're aiming, which I generally use. Or you can go for the slaved warheads. Now these lock onto your target, but I don't find locking on is very useful in this game because enemy Titans get notified when they're locked on, and they can easily use the Vortex Shield to get rid of your rockets, so I don't think it's that useful. Tier 1 kits, you get nuclear ejection, which is my personal favourite, that when your Titan is about to blow up, you can eject from the Titan and it literally blows up in a nuclear explosion, which can take out nearly a full health Titan, which is pretty damn good. Regen booster, your Titan regens, body shield as quicker than most, and Titans have 2 types of health, so you've got your shield and you've got your health. Your health can go down as long as your shield is down, and once your health say is at 1/5, your shield can be full, and then they have to get through your shield and health again, but obviously your health will be less the next time. Fast autoloader, your abilities are just going to be a little bit quicker, mainly your ordnance, so the rockets are just going to be more frequent in use. Tier 2 kit is the auto eject and the survivor. So auto-eject is it works very, very well with the nuclear launch thing, that as soon as it's available, because normally you're very close into a Titan, you're punching each other in Titans, your Titan can go nuclear, and this will automatically eject you as soon as that's possible, and bam, they're blown up. They won't have any time to react, hopefully. And then, you'll get an easy kill. And then the survivor one is your Titan will lose health at a slower rate when doomed, and basically being doomed is when your Titan is going to blow up and you need to get out there if you want to survive. Eject become just your pilot running around on foot. And that is, it's just helping you stay a little bit longer in your Titan before it blows up. So that is it pretty much for the loadouts. We're now into the burn cards. Now this is quite an interesting approach to kind of OP stuff in the game. For everything considered, I think Titanfall is a very, very balanced FPS shooter from what I've experienced so far in the beta. The only overpowered stuff is this stuff. This stuff is very overpowered, but the thing they've balanced it quite well is you can only have these cards active once a game. So you have to earn the cards, and you can see what they kind of do. So this one is replace primary weapon with a EVA 8 shotgun. So this shotgun is going to be way better than the normal shotgun. It's going to do more damage, probably longer range. And if you die when you have this card activated and you're using this, you don't have it again. This card gets burnt, hence the name burned cards. And the thing that is also balanced about this, say if you're using one of these OP guns or one of the abilities, let's focus on the guns though, and you die with that gun, a enemy pilot, or I think even a friendly pilot, can go over and pick up that OP gun, and then hey, they've got it. So it's not like only one person is limited to it. It's not like every single life you have this gun. It's only one life, and enemies and friendlies, I think, can pick it up. I definitely know enemies can. But yeah, it's quite interesting. A lot of them are really fun to use. I don't currently have the Titan one, and I wanted to show you that, but you know, there is different Titan ones. But one of them is replace your Atlas Titan, the standard Titan, with, I can't remember what it's called right now, but it's basically the Stealth Titan that is the really fast one, very small, and has unlimited dash abilities that you can just dash around. And that's one of the examples of the different chassis that will be coming into play. So that is pretty much it for the loadouts. I'm going to quickly go over the options and then we'll get into some gameplay. So video settings, you know, it is a PC game, so let's kind of see how it is. Obviously everything off on high for me, as my new PC can easily cope with it. And I have to say I've been very impressed with the performance of this game for what is known as a beta. It's pretty much a demo, but if they're saying it's a beta, I am impressed. And I have not had one frame drop, I have not had one screen tear, anything. It has been flawless, and as I've been recording gameplay footage, I have not dropped under 100 FPS. In a high intense, a lot of explosions going on, massive titans running around, you know, I am quite impressed. And I think this kind of leads to this. So you've got either double buffered, which I think a standard VSync is 60 FPS, that's what it's capped. Double buffered would be 120, and then triple would be 180, and I've always got it on double. So it's never going to drop below or above 120. That's where it kind of stays around for me. I could choose higher, or I could just turn off VSync, but I think I'm just going to stick with the double. And yeah, everything is great. So I think now, if you did stay around for the whole settings of the game, then yeah, some gameplay will be shown now. I will most likely be just commentating over the gameplay footage, as playing and commentating in this type of game is quite hard to do, as it's very intense, very high speed. So I'll probably just show you some gameplay footage and explain what is going on in them gameplay footage. So hopefully you enjoyed this part of the video, and here's some gameplay. So we're in the game right now. I have got my DMR sniper out that I am quite enjoying, but I don't think it's the most effective gun in the game right now. You can see I'm engaging on a target, and it's not going really well for me, so I just do a bit of parkour, jump off the wall, and use my anti-tank gun to actually take him down. But this part of the video is going to be just showing you some gameplay. I'm actually going to just be showing you basically a whole round, you know, the goods and the bads, seeing how I can kind of get myself on a spree. And I actually find the shotgun to be effective, which I am swapping to now. So there is the loadout menu that you can kind of have in game, swap to different ones, and there is custom ones and preset ones, much like Call of Duty. There are similarities between COD and this game, but yeah, Titan gameplay itself, you know, being in a mech, it's quite fun, and it actually, you feel like you're not clumped around. You actually feel that you can move. Which is good, but the game mode I'm playing right now is basically domination. Hold as many points as you can. As I'm totally missing this guy, it is quite awkward around this machine, and I'm gonna go bam right in the face and pick up a kill for myself with it's kind of weird, I do find, that one kick can actually get a kill, where it takes several bullets to get a kill, which is odd. But I just called my Titan to fly in outside the window there. And for those who don't know, your Titan can be automatic. You can leave it alone, do its own thing. And you can see a pilot just jumped on my Titan's back, and bam, I shoot the guy off to defend my own Titan, which is pretty cool. And I do pick up the kill for that. So my Titan is just standing around there, and he's going to be just killing stuff by himself. He doesn't need me. I put him in guard mode, so he's going to stay in that area and just totally guard anything that is around that whole area. And from what I know, they haven't made them OP in automatic mode, and the guy is again on my Titan, so please get off my Titan. Bam, he's dead again. So yeah, they're not OP. They don't really have auto, well, obviously they do have auto aim, but it's not 100%. You wouldn't be able to tell that, you know, it's an automatic Titan versus a player Titan. So I'm engaging into Titan on Titan combat, and it's going okay for me. I get hit by an EMP, but bam, I punch the guy, rip him out of his Titan, and throw him away. It was hard to see in that EMP grenade, and I actually also eject from my old Titan, and there was the nuclear explosion that you can kind of tell now. It's a huge, huge explosion. So I'm behind the enemy Titan, and getting behind a Titan is actually a really good thing to do because their shields won't activate from that side. So I'm just going to shoot him with a shotgun, why not? And I actually get a Titan assist as well as pick up a pilot myself. I do manage to go down, as I was basically stranding in the middle of the street, which is fine. So anyway, I am actually quite liking the shotgun. I am normally a sniper in these type of games, FPS games, but the shotgun does seem quite effective because if you're Titan on Titan, you know, it's close to long range. Pilot on pilot is normally quite close because there's all buildings that you can hide in, and that's normally where the pilots are. So shotgun is actually really effective, I feel anyway. So I'm going to go over for the A point. Obviously, this game mode, if you're unfamiliar, is you earn points for capturing and holding the objectives. And these objectives are basically a little sentry command thing that you just have to get your guy to hack in. And it's automatic. You just have to stand near it. And I don't really know how close you have to stand near them. Like, I'm standing really close to it right now. I'm going a bit more away. It's still capturing. So that is something I'm going to have to experiment with, is just find out how long the range is. But yeah, this game is quite fun as I die to an enemy pilot, and you can definitely tell when you're fighting an enemy pilot or you're fighting a enemy like computer, because the computers are really not a threat in this game. There are several things that I wish they would do. For one, well, like improve the game, and obviously it is a beta, and I'm not sure if there is actually an area to put in suggestions, but one of my suggestions is make the computer AI a lot harder. They're useless. They do nothing in the game. They're just there basically just because it is a 6v6 game. I think they're just there to fill up the battlefield, because it would be kind of lame if it was just 6 Titans on 6 in a massive battlefield. It would look really empty. As my Titan is engaging onto the enemy, I'm jumping into the Titan, and that is the animation from that angle of how you get him, which is fairly cool. But the one thing I do like about this game, before I go into more disadvantages or things I need to improve anyway, is that your Titan can do stuff without you. I really, really do appreciate and like that, because some people, they won't like to, as well, going into a massive brawl with the enemy Titans, and I made a mistake there of actually going away from these two, as my big nuclear explosion probably would have blown at least one of them up. But anyway, some people will not like playing as a Titan, and I think I'm about to get smushed, and bam, I got it. Because it's a different, you basically are playing a soldier, just massive, and some people would prefer being a pilot, just sneaking around, and your Titan is not useless if that's your playstyle. You can put it on the battlefield, you can put it next to a point, and just hold the point, and it will do perfectly fine. As that is a pure example there of why you shouldn't be in the middle of a battlefield as a pilot, as I just get hit by a stray rocket and go down really quickly, when the guy wasn't really aiming for me anyway, probably didn't even know I was there. But yeah, that is one thing I have to give props to this game, is that your Titan is not useless if you're just a pilot. Now, another thing they need to improve is, well, I don't know if improve is the right word, but really think about is destruction models. Now, right now in the game, there is literally no destruction models like Call of Duty, in that, you know, you shoot a wall, it stays up. You shoot a box, it doesn't move. And that's fine in a Call of Duty game, because everybody understands you're just a soldier after all. You're not going to blow up a wall, even though a rocket launcher normally would. Everybody's kind of understood that's okay. But this game, you're in a massive giant mech that would eat a wall alive. It would walk through a wall, and yet these walls are so tough that, you know, nothing can break them, which it ruins, I don't know, it ruins kind of the feeling of the game a bit for me, because it would be good if you could literally level a battlefield, because right now this battlefield is obviously pristine, and this battlefield actually favors being a pilot, as it's very tight, it's a lot of buildings, pilots can be on top of roofs, get free hits in with their anti-Titan gun. It would be easy as a pilot, and it is. I do very well in this round as a pilot. Titans, on the other hand, are more clumped in this area, and they have a disadvantage. If you could level buildings, let's say, during the end, like, it obviously wouldn't be instant, it would take a while to get them down, but think of the end of the battle, when all the buildings are kind of blown up, it would be great, because Titans then would have an open battlefield that gives pilots a disadvantage. And I think that would balance the game phenomenally well, because it would mean the early game would be in the pilot's favour. You know, go as a pilot, try and blow up a Titan because you have the cover of buildings. The more the game goes on, Titans get the advantage because the cover is disappearing. That for me would be a great idea, but it would take a lot of them to do it. Like if they haven't programmed it or put it even in the game yet, it's not going to happen, because destruction models, as obviously I know now, doing a gaming degree, they take a lot to do. You have to work out the physics, you have to work out the colliders, you've got to do a lot, a lot to do that type of thing. Anyway, I'm engaging on an enemy Titan and an enemy pilot. I think we managed to get down the Titan, and then as you can see, my Titan actually killed a pilot. So yeah, and it counts as my kill as I jump back into my Titan for a bit of safety. But yeah, my Titan killed an enemy pilot without any trouble. So, you know, you can kind of tell that they're not useless. They're not overpowered, but they're not useless, which is probably my favourite thing of this game. So right now I'm doing fairly well. I am top of my team, and I think I am the MVP of this game so far, which I think will turn into the rest of the game. But yeah, this is just really cool. So right now in the game, there is several game modes that I think as follows. You've got Last Titan Standing, which is 6v6, and everybody starts in a Titan. You can choose to jump out your Titan if you wish, but normally you want yourself to... Oh, here we go. I go on a bit of a rampage here, so let me just quickly explain what I'm doing here. Double kill. I squashed the guy. Triple kill. Going for the quad. And there, got a mega kill, which I've not seen one in a video yet. And then I'm going for the final kill here, which I think we might get any second. I think I am actually outnumbered. Go for a punch, and I'm going to go for the eject, and boom. So get a 5th kill, so basically a pentakill in a row, and then move for this Titan. I think this goes kind of bad for me any second, and squish. So I actually died. Now I can't actually remember what I was saying before we had that little bit of a rampage, but this game does feel good. I will be playing a lot of this game, and this game for me, as we just won the round, this game for me will be basically the game that I play. Like Battlefield 4 is great, but this game will be probably my main FPS, because Battlefield 4 you have to invest a lot of time into unlocking all the guns, etc., and games take a while. Well, this is like Call of Duty, just a better, fresher version, for me anyway, of Call of Duty, and that's kind of where it stands for me, and I do see myself enjoying this game a lot. Which I probably will end up, you know, doing a bit more footage on it, maybe on launch, because as mentioned, a lot of the content out in the game right now is, you know, not available. So there'll be a lot more to come. Now, here's me failing with a shotgun, trying to kill a guy from too big a range. And I think I go in cover, and then a gunship with a guy inside kind of finds me. So there we go. So anyway, I think that'll wrap this video up, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed Titanfall. This gameplay, and I just remembered what I was talking about. There is the Titan versus Titan, Last Titan Standing. Whoever stays alive as a Titan wins. Then there is the kill anything, get points mode, and then there's this point like the domination. So anyway, thanks for watching. More content to come soon, and I'll see you guys next time.